Hello everyone, this is a recording for Saturday the 12th of May, and this is the first Handicap Snip special bet of 2018. Now, just a reminder what the Handicap Snip special bet is all about. This is a voluntary arrangement between you, the members, and me, the provider, where I ask you to place on certain races, not too often. I think there may be 20 this year, something around that, maybe a few more. I place a win bet on my behalf alongside your own bet. Okay, I'm asking you to do that. The reason for that is that this is our attempt to raise funds for our Olympic prospect, Owen, who is currently in Japan training with the Japan national team, which is part of his progress towards the Olympics. The Olympic qualification starts now. He's unfunded by the lottery, despite the fact that he's a clear prospect and he should be funded. He isn't. So that's what this whole process is all about. So let's just be clear. This is something I'm asking you to do. All right. So first of all, they're always going to be in big field handicaps, preferably heritages, and they're always going to be big prices. You place the bet alongside your own. If the horse wins, you return only the winnings and at the price that you get. So at no point will I say to you it's 20 to 1, and if you only get 14 to 1, I'm not going to be asking you to make up the difference. Okay. Any funds that you submit into the Handicap Snip for the Olympic Fund are gratefully received. It's a fundraising process, and so there's going to be no arm twisting. If I had 3 or 4 winners on the bounce and somebody didn't remit any money, I would take an askance look at that. But if you miss it because you're away or you didn't get the message or whatever, I'm never going to be asking you to stick your hand in your pocket and pay out of your own funds, okay? Only remit money that you won from the bookmakers. That's why there's no subscriptions, there's no monthly fees, and that's what we're doing. I just want to make that clear to everyone, okay? Nice and relaxed. You manage your own bets and you manage your own contributions when it comes time to pay them in, and you only do win only £2.50. Next year, when it's a year to go before the Olympics, I may ask you to go to £5. But let's get this year out of the way first and see if we can win some money. Okay, so just wanted to get that out of the way. The first race, and this, funny enough, this was the race we had the first Handicap Snip bet in last year, which was the Victoria Cup. I've done the Handicap Snip methodology, and here is the shortlist. There are 29 runners. You think, what a race to bet in. But these are the best races to bet in, because I'm telling you, there's a whole bunch of these horses that are not on the shortlist that have literally got no chance of winning. They're just there making up numbers. I will notice this horse here called Louis de Palma. He's been off for 1,381 days and he's trading 7 to 1. He's got a mark of 92. They may think he's a group horse. May well do. But he doesn't get on my shortlist. Okay, so here's the shortlist. And there's an old friend here, Firmament. He's dropped well in the weights, but he's not been in form for a while. I've got no doubt that he goes particularly well at Ascot. This lineup looks to me like a clash between the 4-year-olds who are all unexposed and a couple of older, more exposed horses. Generally against the 6-year-olds. I'm definitely going to be against Burnt Sugar with a £7 claimer on board. Firmament will like the 7 furlongs, or he's never won at the trip. And, he needs to bounce back to his best. He could. Right? He's got plenty of form at Ascot. He's an Ascot specialist. But decided he's not the bet. There's a lovely horse here called Kaiser Soze. He's only 6 to 1, 7 to 1. He's favourite. He ran an excellent race, went third in the Spring Cup at Newbury, which was won by Tack Deer. That was also a hot race, always a hot race. And last year's winner, Fastnet Tempest, was also third, or maybe fourth, third, I believe, in the same race at Newbury, the Spring Cup, which is a 31 grand race. He ran very well, but he's got to put up £3 for that, and he's got to improve again from there. And at 6 to 1, I'm not having him. So he went. Now I really like this horse, Sabador. Let's just get him up. Where is he? Sabador. I've got so many windows open. I'm making this in the gap between the 2:25 and the 3 o'clock, whatever it is, at Chester on Friday afternoon, because I've done all the work. This horse, Sabador, ran a very nice race when 13th in the Britannia Stakes, drawn on completely the wrong side. There was a massive track bias, and all the ones on the stand side had no chance. He ran a very nice race, but he's not been seen again since. He's now got to try and win this race, first time out as a 4-year-old. It's going to take an enormous ask for me. So he, coming off a 324-day playoff, he went. Now, I really like this horse, Gilgamesh. All of these horses are probably going to be aimed at future targets. This horse, Gilgamesh, ran disappointingly on soft ground at Newbury on his seasonal debut. As a 3-year-old, all the trainer did, George Scott, yes, David Egan is a top apprentice, gets £3 off his back. He is a major threat, and you could, if you wanted, have a little half a point or a point saver. I wouldn't put you off, because he's drawn on the stand side, and you know, ones on the far side may not be well in. So, but this horse is all about fast ground. He's a 7 furlong specialist, really. He's going to devour the trip, and he's only had 7 runs in his life, and they spent his 3-year-old career really teaching him to race. He won 3 races on the bounce, in fact 4 races on the bounce. He won his second start as a 2-year-old, then he won 2 on the all-weather and 1 on turf as a 3-year-old. They left him off from May until November. He come back, had a prep run at Newbury, didn't run well on the soft. He has got to bounce back from that, but Gilgamesh is one to follow. He's very well treated off 92. He could easily end up, you know, well into the 100s this year. I can't have him. He's not the bet. So we're getting there. Pouvoir Magique is a very nice horse. I've got no doubt that this is being plotted up for something. Where are we? Pouvoir Magique, number 23. John Gosden trains this horse. He's making his reappearance. He's drawn 4, which I'm not a fan of the low numbers, the single figure draws. And this horse is rated 88. And honestly, I can easily see him running in something like the Royal Hunt Cup off about 100. I don't know. Possibly this might be John Gosden's Cambridgeshire horse for later in the year, because he's been campaigned and educated as he's only had 5 starts over 10 furlongs and a mile and a half. He's coming out here starting over 7 furlongs. He's a very nice horse, owned by Princess Haya of Jordan, beautifully bred. I've got no doubt this is a potential blot on the handicap. But having not had a run and trying 7 furlongs for the first time, he is not the bet. And here we go. This is my bet for a massive shock. You can get 40 to 1 this horse. It's 33 to 1 freely available. And this is what the handicap snip is all about. This horse here, called Ripp, he's the bottom weight. He's got 8 stone 1. Hayley Turner's riding. He's drawn right in the middle, which may be an advantage. He's only had 1 run on turf. I can assure you he is way, way better than what he achieved on that 1 mark. Way better. He'll strip fit. 7 furlongs is ideal. He gets a fast ground. He's by Ripp Van Winkle. He's screaming out for top of the ground. He gets it tomorrow. They're going to go a blistering gallop. 4 years old. He's got immense potential. He could be absolutely slung in here. It's a ludicrous price, 40 to 1. I would have him no bigger than about 16 to 1 myself. So there you go. Get the best price you can for yourself, whichever bookmaker you can get on with. You don't have to go mad and have 5 points each way. You can if you want. I normally do advise that for handicap snip special bets. But since it's such a big bet, big price, you could go 2.5 each way or 3 each way. I'll leave that up to you. And £2.50 to win. And I can see there's going to be a hell of a lot of pace on in this race. A hell of a lot of pace is going to be on in this race. You've got a whole bunch of front runners. Zui Feng, The Grape Escape, Silent Attack, Raising Sand, Escobar, Repercussion, Kinrin, and some others. There are, Massam Star, Sea Fox, all like to get on with it. This race is going to be run lickety split. And the thing to know about Ripp, he's trained by David Ellsworth. And he has won this race, this exact race, with a similar 4-year-old off the back of a very light preparation, mainly on the all-weather. Horse called Spectacular Bid. Won this race 3 or 4 years ago. And he's for exactly the same owners. The same owner group. And I think he's trying to pull off the same coup here. It's only... That's only the icing on the cake. The fact is that this horse off 83 with carrying 8 stone 1, I've got him rated about 95. I think this horse will be a 95 horse. He's running off 83. I've got him absolutely chucked in. If you can get 5 places or better, you might even get 6 places. You can have a bigger bet each way then. I'm certain he's going to travel in behind, and when they're all done running, he's got no weight on his back, and come storming with a late run. I hope that's what's going to happen. So there you go. 4 o'clock, Ascot. The first handicap snip special bet of 2018. Let's hope it's a good one. And I'll leave it up to you. At least 3 points each way. If you get 5 or 6 places, maybe go 4 each way, 5 each way. I'll leave that up to you. And please place your £2.50 to win on behalf of the Handicap Snip fundraising alongside your own bet. And I'll speak to you after the race. And hopefully it'll be punch in the air. Okay? There we go.